Well, folks, here it is, the second week of August, and we are in the height of the summer pulling season. And so let's get right to it. There's most weekends, there are several things going on throughout the Northeast. And so we have quite a bit to talk about tonight. On the 10th of August, actually, I'm recording this on the 9th. So probably you already know about the Shawn Lattimer New Jersey State Championships. We were planning on going. Because it is basically the day after I'm recording this, and talked about it last month. And Ryan's been putting something out just about every day about it. But that's the PJ Whalehens in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Rather large when I'm told, one of their largest PJ Whalehens. Will have plenty of space there. The men's classes will be having standard weight classes, the 154, 176, and so forth. Women, two weight classes split at 154. Masters, two weight classes split at 199, and kids depends on who shows up for that as to how that basically shakes out. The cost for this, $40 for the men's classes, 20 for the women, and kids pull free. So that is, as I say, tomorrow, if you're seeing this on the 9th when I put it up. So the week after that actually is the start of the WAF World Championships, which list themselves as being from the 15th to the 25th. In actual fact, some folks that are really not leaving until then, I know we have somebody from our team in Team Predator in Allentown, is going to that and not flying out until about the 20th. And so, starts the 15th, runs to the 25th in Moldova. And so just mention that, on the side. The 17th, as I say, there are some weeks where we have quite a bit going on. And on the 17th, we actually have about, 4 events going on in the area. So let's take a look at them. And I'm going to start with the one I'm going to be connected with, which is the Arms of Steel tournament, tied in with the Pittston Tomato Festival in Pittston, Pennsylvania, up in the northeast part of the state. They're kind of a little bit different on weight categories. Nitro takes the position that, hey, why should you have to cut weight? And so if you've been having trouble cutting weight, this is the tournament for you. Instead of 154, we'll start at 160. The pro classes and the amateur classes are 160, 180, 187, 220, and 221 plus. Also, this is an event that does not start until the afternoon. So if you have trouble getting your rear out of bed in the morning, the registration actually is from 12:30 to 2, and it starts at 2 o'clock because they do have a big parade in the morning in conjunction with the Tomato Festival. Women are going to have classes going to 150, 150 to 180, and 181 plus. We'll have a master's class, master's classes, master's being defined as 50 plus here, 160, 187, 220, and 221 plus. This will be at a different location than the last couple of years. It will be at the Susquehanna Brewing, and which is a brew pub fairly close to the VFW we held at for the last couple of years, so you don't have to worry about getting downtown and worrying about parking. Whatever cost for this: pro $30, amateur and women $25, kids $10. And so hope to see you there on Saturday the 17th. Also going on Saturday the 17th is the Massachusetts State Championships. These are in Plimpton, Massachusetts, which is fairly close to Plymouth, Massachusetts, that is to say, fairly close to the coast, south of Boston, about halfway between Boston and Cape Cod. There they have, let's see, pro and am, 154, 176, 198, 220, and 221 plus. Although there they do not have a clothing allowance. Cost for that, $25 per arm. Kids are only $5 at that one. And so what they will be doing also is it's pro and am, novice, semi-pro, kids, and masters as far as will be decided as far as weight classes by who shows up and whatever. Women expected to be 2 classes split at 144. And I mentioned that in addition, they do have cash prizes for the pro classes at that one in Massachusetts. At the other end of the Northeast You have the West Virginia States going on in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Christina Stolcasto running that as she usually does. Fine tournament out there. There they do have the standard classes, including the 243, 243 plus, with pro and amateur. Amateur on their program and on their posters are calling novice, but basically pro and amateur, both right and left, with the standard weight classes starting at 154. Masters in that one starts at 40 plus, and the Masters classes are 176, and then a rather humongous class in the middle, 177 to 242, and 243 plus. But I guess, hey, if you're a little bit over 200, like a lot of these Masters classes are, at least you won't have to be pulling the 300-pound people. And so, like I say, 3 classes there. Kids, right arm only. Women are right arm only, by the way. And, women, no charge for women pulling. And both, women and kids up to age 17 are right arm only. And so, as I say, is the West Virginia State in Parkersburg. And finally, in the Northeast, Battle at the Beach in Sylvan Beach, New York. They finally got a event page up for that. Took a while to get that. I'm not going to say that much about that up in the Finger Lakes as before. Essentially non-standard weights. You're going to have to take a look at that if you want to take a look at the weights there. 2 things that are kind of interesting there is the basically the weight allowance is 3 pounds. However, it is 5 pounds if you show up in a bikini. I'm not sure I can, want to show up, watching those folks there. I don't know, just picturing some of the, the guys in a bikini, you get the extra 2 pounds. It's something I really can't unsee. But as I say, that is also on the 17th. And finally, if that's not enough, as usual, Christina out in West Virginia has to contend with the fact that the Kentucky states are usually the same day, or very often the same day. They are almost 5 hours away, but some of the folks in Ohio have to decide between those two on the 17th. So that's basically it for the 17th, but certainly enough. On the 24th, a week later, the Virginia Arm Wrestling League Attrition tournament is taking place in Mechanicsville, Virginia, and that is basically the northeast suburbs of Richmond, and that is an Arnold qualifier. The Arnold's qualifiers are starting to sprout up all over the place. We're going to talk about several of them today. I think actually the first one that I've seen as far as chronologically is this one in Virginia, although I believe there was a qualifier in Korea some time back. But the qualifier for the Arnolds, that one's going to have the standard classes starting 154, but what they will also add, instead of heavyweight, super heavy starting at 243, they're also going to have a 275-pound class, and then supers will start 275 plus. And Masters is going to be open, depending on who shows up. At the moment, it's scheduled just open. Masters there being defined as 50 plus. Women also, women's classes to be determined, depending on what who shows up and what the mix that they have there. $30 per arm, with the exception of the women. Women are getting to pull for free at that one in Virginia. In addition to all of that, they will have some super matches according to their program. Although, to be perfectly candid with you, I'm not sure exactly who is going to be pulling in that. Also on the 24th, what I will be going to is the Paul Cruz barbecue and practice with call-out matches, which takes place out on Long Island. What they're going to have there is it's going to be $20 a ticket for that. What they're calling the poolside arm wrestling out at Paul's place, which the $20 will cover food, water, soft drinks, soda, and so forth. If you wish to be pulling with whilst drinking alcohol, alcohol is a BYOB, and so that is going to be, as I say, out there on Long Island, starting at 3:00 in the afternoon on the 24th. Following week is the 31st. Well, actually, there's not quite sure what's going on the 31st, because the New York State Championship, what they're calling the Unified New York State Championship, is taking place as per usual at the State Fairgrounds on Sunday, which is the 1st September. Looking at their literature, they don't have an event page up as far as I can see. They basically have a poster, and it looks like what they're going to be doing there is possibly having some super matches on Saturday the 31st, but I, not going to guarantee that. But that's basically what it looks like there. But as I say, the publicity for that is a little bit, slim on the ground. So that's the weekend. That's Labor Day weekend. The week after Labor Day, once again, we have a couple different items here. The 98 September Skirmish in Bensalem. That is our Arnold qualifier. As I said, there's several of those. You have the Virginia one, you have ours. Later in the month, you're going to have one with up in New York with Steve Fernandez running that. In addition, there's a Arnold qualifier in Ohio, the East Ohio folks, Billy Collins. That's not until the 2nd of November. And I understand there's also something in Elkhart, Indiana, for a qualifier a little bit out of our area here. But the Arnold qualifiers are starting to spread on that. But as I say, ours is going to be is in Bensalem on the 7th September at a place called the Broken Goblet. That one I have seen. We had that place recommended to us. It's basically a brew pub and other type drinks. And we had that recommended to us as, fine place. But then after we actually had scheduled a tournament there, when we decided to jump in on the Arnold qualifier, I went down and visited the Philly practice one Tuesday and stopped over there in Bensalem and take a look at the place because we were just concerned whether it would be large enough for the larger crowds that we'd be expecting at a qualifier. And it certainly is. In fact, I talked to the bar manager and he took me over to show me the room and said they had just recently had 500 people, standing room for a concert, a really nice stage there. And so if they can get 500 in standing, we can get a couple hundred in, sitting down at various tables and so forth. So as I say, that is going to be on the 7th, the pro or the standard classes. Plus, we will be adding a 274 up to 274 and then 275 plus for the pro. Amateur will be the standard classes again, starting at 154, although with amateur only going up to the super starting at 243. Masters, 40 plus for Masters class, and that will be two classes splitting at 199, and women's splitting at 154 pounds for that. So that is the in Eastern Pennsylvania on the Philly area on the 7th of September. In addition, if you are kind of out of the area, a little bit farther west, and you want a nice small tournament to go to, there's something which is a very interesting title. I was at it last year. There's a festival called the Farmers and Threshermen's Jubilee. Well, you don't hear that one that often, but Farmers and Threshermen's Jubilee is basically a small regional fair, which, as the name suggests, has various farm sort of things with it. They have tractor pulls, and of course everybody has their stands and this sort of thing, and folks doing their the handicraft and so forth. Nice little festival. And we have an arm wrestling tournament there. Zachary and his folks are coordinating that. And as I say, I was there last year. Rather small event. As I recall, last year they think they had just open. I was doing brackets, and also as I recall, although there was really not that much publicity on that, but they had a lot more classes in right. Left arm, I'm pulling this out of the memory banks, but as I recall, left arm was maybe 2 or 3 classes, whereas right arm was quite a few more than that. But that is in New Centerville, Pennsylvania, which is Somerset County, Pennsylvania, basically south of Johnstown. That area gets you into the right general area with that. As I say, that is also on the 7th of September. Just going to mention the next 3 weeks, some things coming up. I won't talk about them in that much detail here because I'll talk about them next month. But just the next 3 weeks, give you a heads up on it. On the 14th of September, Knuckles Up 4 is taking place in Fort Lee, New Jersey, same place as they had it last year or last time. Knuckles Up 3 And so that's in Fort Lee, and they have quite a bit of publicity up on that with the various challenge matches. They're having folks from around the globe showing up for that. The 21st September is the New England's. That again is taking place at the Dave and Buster's in Woburn, Massachusetts, basically suburban Boston, as they have been the last 2 years. And the 28th will be another one of the Arnold's qualifiers, namely the King of the Tri-States in Windsor. I'm sorry, yes, can't see what I'm looking at here. Yeah, New Windsor, New York, which is near the Stewart Airport, just off of the New York State Thruway. So it's basically west of the river, and so quite frankly, somewhat easier for me to get to than if it was on the other side of the river. But so that is, like I say, that's the 28th, and that will be an Arnold qualifier as well. I will be at that one because I'm going to be doing brackets, or sharing the brackets for that one. I do plan to attend Knuckles Up. Of course, I will be at both of ours, and I'll be running brackets at the Arms of Steel. So hope to see you at one of those, and keep on pulling.